Hi, my name is Eddie Carrick. If you didn't guess from my shirt and the rule behind me, I am a Mr. Fanalysis fan. Welcome back to Either I of You. This is episode 21, and this is a series I created to connect with Philippines members ahead of our upcoming fixture. This weekend we are playing Manchester United at Old Trafford, and for the first time this season, I have a United guest on my channel. Today we have United fan host. How are you doing today, first?
Doing fine, Ellie. How are you doing today? You all right?
I'm very well, thank you, yeah. So I was refreshing myself on United's current situation, and you're doing pretty well this year, this calendar year. You beat the likes of Arsenal, City, and Tottenham. Although Tottenham is that is that something special? I don't know. But
Yeah.
recently you drew to West Ham and Everton. No, you beat Everton, but you currently sit fourth in the table. So how
Yeah.
would you evaluate your season so far?
It's a story of two halves, Ellie. I think the first half is a chapter that's closed, and I want to throw that book away, not go back to it. That's the Amma Grimm era. So yeah, we don't want to go back to that. But looking from Michael Carrick onwards, it's been absolutely brilliant. I think footballing wise, it's been a lot more easier on the eye. It's been brilliant. I was at Old Trafford when we played Fulham with my son. Absolutely brilliant atmosphere. The football was nice. It was electric. Obviously, we almost threw it away a little bit at the end, but we brought it back just like we did back in the old days. And yeah, it was very, very exciting. I think at the moment, we're on an upward curve, unbeaten in 10. Michael Carrick still unbeaten at the moment. Do I expect him to carry that on for the rest of the season? Probably not. But what I will say is tactically, things look a lot stronger than where they were at the start of the season. I think the players look happier. The fans are buoyant at the moment. We're all excited. We're all looking and on the edge of our chairs. It's kind of like, oh, what's happening next? So that excitement's back around Old Trafford. And I think there's a little bit of a fear coming back around playing Manchester United. So you'll be able to confirm how that feels for Crystal Palace, because the last 5 games you've had our number in the Premier League. You've beaten us 3 out of 5, if I remember correctly. So, and one of them was 4-0.
Yeah.
So yeah, Palace have really done us. So how does it feel Palace wise? I don't know
I
if
mean,
you can tell me.
like you said, you're currently unbeaten under Carrick, and Crystal Palace love to upset those kind of statistics. If you remember, Liverpool were unbeaten for God knows how long, and we beat them. So that's given me a little bit of hope going into the game. But at the same time, you are on very good form, and I'm a little bit scared. But as you say, we are a bit of a rosy team here.
Yeah.
And I've been to Old Trafford a number of times, and we have caused upset. So hopefully this weekend is one of those, but I
Yeah.
guess we'll have to wait and see. I think you are playing us at a pretty good time to be an opponent against us, because our team is a bit all over the place in terms of form. Obviously, January was horrendous. It was a bad time to be a Palace fan. But we are slowly improving, and we just beat Wolves last weekend, and we beat Mostar last night, and qualify for the next round of Europe, which is amazing. But yeah, I think it could go either way. But my question for you is, what is the biggest difference you've seen under Carrick as opposed to your previous manager?
Pretty simple, actually. I think just not putting square pegs in round holes. I mean, I used to count on the Fanalysis app, and I did a post on there saying out of all the 11 players, only 2 of the players were traditionally in their number one primary position, and that was the goalkeeper, which shouldn't even count because where else are
Yeah.
they going to play? And it
Mm-hmm.
was a central centre back, which was usually De Ligt. Everyone else was in a position that wasn't their primary focus or their best position. You had Ahmad, who's a right wing attacker, playing at right wing back. You had Mbumo, who is again a right winger, playing in the number 10 inside right. You had Bruno being a bit further back. You had Kobe Mainu in a 2. And don't get me wrong, Bruno and Kobe Mainu are number 8s, but they're not number 8s in the way of a 2-man midfield. They're 8s in a 3-man midfield with a 6 behind. So for me, I just think it's very simple. Square pegs in square holes, round pegs in round holes. Very simple, and you're seeing the results of it at the moment. And I think tactically, we're seeing a shift because, it took Amorim, I think it was, I forgot the number, but I'm sure it's like 40-something games to have 2 substitutes score a goal. But I think, and Carrick did that in like his first game.
Oh, wow.
But I think that was due to Amorim always bringing on defenders. So if you keep bringing on defenders, every game it was almost, I'm subbing 2 defenders off. And it's like, why are we subbing defenders off so much? It was always confusing. You mentioned Everton, who we lost to last year at the tail end when they had 10 men, and we brought on 2 defenders. And I'm like, we need to chase the game. They got 10 men, like attack. I think at the moment, Carrick's just got that old school mindset of the old Manchester United of, we're going to attack, we're going to use the wings, we're going to be structured, but we're going to have passion as well. So I think there's been a plethora of changes, but it's all been positive for me. So yeah, no complaints.
So would you say the substitutes are an area we need to look out for this weekend?
I think we've got to go with Sesko. Got to go with Sesko at the moment. I think it's unlucky for him that he hasn't started the last game, but sometimes you got to think, if it's not broke, why fix it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the temptation can be to, if a substitute is playing well, throw them in, make them start the game. But that, if you think about it, is a complete shift from what they've been doing, which has made them successful, which is coming in as an impact at the tail end of the game, just, disturbing the defense, being fresher and kind of getting used to it. And again, we've got to remember Sesko's young. Sesko's first time in England as well, getting used to his teammates. So we've got to be patient with him. But I know the temptation is to bring him in. But yeah, I kind of thought he would start against Everton. I predicted that, and I would have started him. But Carrick knows best. So yeah, give that to Carrick. So I think for this game, he may do the same thing again, stick with the winning team. But then if Sesko's coming on now, I think Crystal Palace are going to be wiping their brow a bit.
So would you say that he's your most informed player, or is there another one that we should be careful of?
I think I always split this into performance and stats. So I think stats-wise, as in GA, I think he's our most informed player at the moment. Probably in Boom will be just behind him. But if you're talking performance, it's got to be World Casemiro. And I've got plenty of nicknames for him. World Casemiro, World Passamiro, because he sets up goals and everything. Like, he's absolutely brilliant. World Clashamiro, because he stops attacks. I've got them all.
Wow.
So I think, Casemiro has definitely been arguably the best player for us this season. I think for me, Manchester United player of the year so far is Mbumo or Casemiro. I think they're the two. And De Ligt, before he went off injured, and we've not seen him since. I think he was up in the running, but he's been off for too long. So I think Casemiro's our main performance player.
I was talking to my friend yesterday, who's a United fan. I was trying to get some insight ahead of this interview, and she was saying that Casemiro is retiring at the end of the season, and he announced that already. And she said that before that he was a completely different player, and now he's on fire and on form. What is your opinion on players announcing retirement before the end of the season, at mid-season? And with our team, obviously our manager has announced he's leaving at the end of the season, and it's been a complete mess. Whereas for you, it's been the flip, and he's been better. So what's your opinion on
that? Just to touch on Glasner quickly, I think that situation is so sad. If I must say, I've always respected Crystal Palace as a team and a club, because you got a rich history in the Premier League. And it's been sad I'm a football fan first. Man United fans don't get at me, but I'm a football fan first. So I like what's best for football as a whole. And I think Crystal Palace has been one of the breath of fresh air. Not just saying it because I'm on your show at the moment, but I think when you go back to the days of Jason Puncheon and Yannick Bolasie on the wing, you've always had like these effervescent players to entertain, and take points off the top teams and always been in and around there. And I think, the situation with Glasner is very sad. You lost Sahad and you've lost Gahey and you've lost Eze, and you were building something that has just been ripped to shreds. And when you see someone who's come in and done something and built a project, and that's bore fruit as well. You've won a cup, you've won a trophy, you won two trophies. Like, it's brilliant. And then to see it just kind of go down the pan, I can understand why Glasner has decided what he has, whether it's the right decision to announce it, but I don't think it is in his particular case. Moving on to Casemiro, I think for Casemiro, his aim was to stop speculation, which with Manchester United, it's always a different beast. I don't know what it is, but with any other Premier League club, it's never the same. The media cannot stop talking about Manchester United. So I think him putting paid to those rumours and everyone know where we are has stopped the media from the speculation and the endless poking and asking Carrick what's going on. So I see why it's helped Manchester United, Casemiro announcing it. So it has worked out, and generally I'd be against it, but in this case, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and that makes sense. But I think the way Lesnar announced his departure it wasn't arranged at all. Like, it was completely off the cuff. At the end of a press conference, the same press conference, he was announcing he was leaving. So it was like double bad news, and it was just insane. But yeah, if you, I don't know how much of Palace you watch, but if you had to choose one player you're fearful of this weekend, who would it be?
Oh, Crystal Palace.
We have a completely different team to the last time we played you. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go a bit different here. I think Munoz.
Okay.
I think Munoz. The reason why I mention him, because he has the ability to defend very well and kind of stop our attacks. Because I'm in between when it comes to Cunha. I know a lot of people, I love Cunha. Let me just say that out there. But I don't think performance-wise he's been as great as what people have been saying. That's not a knock on him. I just think he's similar to Bruno in the sense of you get one thing or the other. I actually think both of them two in the same team doesn't work, but that's another conversation. So I think, Munoz would be able to give him a lot of headache, but then attacking wise, that's where he offers a threat as well, where a lot of the teams we've played recently hasn't given us that kind of threat on the overlap or on the lap as well from that position. So I'd give it to him, and he's a player that I'd definitely take at Manchester United.
Well, in the No. I haven't really watched much of United this season, but what system do you play? Do you have the wing backs going forwards?
Carrick's interesting because it's a 4-2-3-1 that he traditionally plays. When we defend, I was saying it to my son, I can see we go into a flat back four, but a narrow flat back four.
Right.
And he seems to allow and this is why I said Munoz is the player to watch, because when we're defending, I'm using my hands like it's on a screen here. But yeah, so he brings them in narrow, and he doesn't allow our fullbacks to engage with the opposing wingers or wing backs until they get into the final third. Right. So I don't know if anyone else has really watched or noticed that, but I noticed that quite a while because I was like, Luke Shaw, I'm kind of like at the screen, get at him.
What you do, yeah.
But he doesn't get at him. He allows them to have the ball out wide in order to keep the middle compact and tight. And then when they get to the byline, he then engages. So it'd be interesting to see if he does that with Palace, because the danger of that is if someone's stronger in the air than our defenders that we've got, then we could be with a bit of a problem. And Palace have some burly men playing for them. So yeah, we're going to have to be careful.
I watched Fanalysis for the first time live yesterday, and he is huge. He's total.
He's massive.
Huge. I was surprised. But yeah, my point on the wing backs is we're seeing that so often in the modern day of football, with the wing backs providing that attacking element that wasn't really the case historically. But I enjoy watching Munoz and Mitchell providing that attacking element. So yeah, I think he's a good shout for you to choose.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I just think that's going to be the way that Palace are going to set up against. I think because you have that three at the back and the wing backs, which funny, ironically, is our old formation we had with Amorim, but we could never execute it anywhere near as well as you guys. So I think, yeah, that's going to be a bit of a different spectacle for us because I don't think anyone else in the league plays that. So I think tactically, we've just been at this. If you're going up against four at the back, traditionally, religiously, week after week, and then all of a sudden you got a three at the back with four in midfield, and then the 3-4-3, then it throws out your positioning and how you defend. So I think even though we've not had any European games and cup games to go with, I think that extra time to prepare for Palace hopefully will give us that edge to kind of turn this into a win so we don't fall behind because we need the extra practice to get used to your system.
Well, that perfectly moves me on to my next question. We played in Europe last night. You obviously haven't had Europe this season. How do you think that has impacted your season as a whole?
I think it's helped. And I think I've not seen anyone else say online, but a lot of people are saying that our players would be better suited being in Europe. But I don't think every player would be because players like Mbumo and Cunha, if we remember, they've not been playing in Europe. So they're typically used to the number of games that we've been playing this season. And a lot of the times Wolves gets knocked out early or, Brentford might have a little bit of a cup run, but generally Mbumo might get rested. So he doesn't play much more games than what we've been playing this season, really. So, people might look that up numbers wise, but because they're not playing in Europe, they're not used to that. So it's given us a good time to bring him in, bring Mbumo in, bring Sesko in, and just acclimatize them to the team. And I think with Carrick's tactics, it's given them enough time to kind of work with the squad because we're shifting from that system, Amorim system. It's given us more time to train that out and actually get everyone used to back playing where they should be playing. So in a funny turn of events, it's worked out and it's starting to bear fruit as we're in 3rd/4th place at the moment. We're kind of dancing with Villa at the moment.
So yeah, what you said there, the fact that your players, your new players aren't used to Europe, I think that's what's massively hurt us this season because none of our players were used to Europe. We didn't have any European, apart from Desna, who had previous experience. Other than that, we had nothing. And I think it's massively hurt us in terms of both playing minutes, because the players are absolutely exhausted, but also preparation time, because the turnaround is insane. We played last night and then we play you in 3 days? 2 days?
Yeah, three. I think it's 3 days. So
yeah, the turnaround is just
no recovery. So all that works in our favor because you lot are going to be wiped out already from that. And if they keep their normal routine, they're just going to be fatigued. So unfortunately, hopefully it costs you this game, and then you get back to winning ways in the next one.
I mean, it's shown in the table. We're sitting 13th in the table. Is it 13th or 14th?
13th, yeah, but it's one win could get you to 8th.
Yeah, the table is so tight.
Yeah. So I looked at it and I went, oh, Palace ain't that far off. Like, one wins 8th place. So, I think you'll get a good run of results. You've still got time. Again, sad in the situation with the team, but, she's got Strand Larson in, someone who can hopefully get a few goals and such. Yeah. So, we'll see what happens.
Are you a season ticket holder?
I'm not, no. So I have to kind of grab my tickets when and where.
But you do go to Old Trafford?
Yeah, I'll go here and there. Not often, I'll be honest. I'm a bit of an armchair fan, people would say, but I'm a loyal armchair fan. It used to be called a glory hunter, but there's been no glory for the last 12 years. So I'm still here. So I can't be called a glory hunter.
I mean, the fact you have a Manchester accent means you can't be a glory hunter. The people in London who support United, they're glory hunters. So do you have any tips or hints for fans travelling to Old Trafford this weekend?
Get there early. I'd say get there early. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the trip. Visit Manchester. Have a look at Manchester. It's fun. It's a vibrant city. It's brilliant. I love it. And yeah, I'd just say just enjoy it. Have fun. The Man United fans have a laugh. I know a lot of people have a bit of things, bad to say against us sometimes, but we're not Arsenal fans. So no one likes Arsenal fans. Sorry, Arsenal fans. You're going to catch the strays here, but. Yeah, so but I'll just say, just have fun, have the atmosphere, have a bit of banter. When we was last at Old Trafford and the Fulham fans were like, "Who are you? Who are you?" And then we were firing it back at them. Yeah, so it's all good banter and fun anyway.
I love that.
Yeah,
definitely. So last time we played at Carick Park, it was a 2-1 win to you. A very tale of two halves game.
Yeah.
What is your prediction for this weekend?
I think we'll get a couple of goals. I'm gonna go. Initially, I was gonna say 2, but I'm gonna push for 3. I think 3-1. I think you'll probably get a goal.
Okay.
We'll get on a play. I think we will score first, and I think you'll score again, and then I think we'll pull it back with a couple of subs within the 60 to 70th minute mark. I feel like your exertions in Europe are gonna kind of get you in the tail end of the game. And I think that's where our fresh subs coming on, i.e. Sesko, like I mentioned earlier, is going to come and kind of sucker punch the team and kind of get you there. So 3-1 Man United, I'd say.
Wow. I mean, reducing statistics, Palace, I think they've only won 1 game after Europe. And that just proves how tiring it is playing in Europe. But the only saving grace was it was at home this week. So we have we won at the weekend. Just 2 games.
I was gonna say, you just beat Wolves 1-0. 1-0 though, so that's where but Wolves have been really well at, we just about did what we did against them, and then they held Arsenal as well. So Wolves are in pretty good form considering where they are. But you beat them 1-0. So you did well. So that's his second game, I think, after Europe.
Hopefully we can continue that streak.
After this weekend.
I hope you enjoy the game, but not too much. Did you say you're not going this weekend?
No, I'm not going this weekend, unfortunately. I've had work commitments, so I couldn't make it out. But apart from that, I'll still be cheering, still be watching. Might do a live stream, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, well, that leads me perfectly into my next question. Where can my viewers find you?
You can find me on YouTube, but my main pages are Instagram and TikTok. I do have Facebook and Threads as well. The sign is at MUFC Fanalysis, all in one word. You'll find me there. If you put in Chris Edwards, you should be able to find me as well. But mainly MUFC Fanalysis. I don't just pump Manchester United propaganda, so don't worry. It's entertaining. I'd have a little bit of laughs at my own expense. I played Football Manager the game before Manchester City, and Haaland scored a double hat-trick against me, 8-2, and I made a video for it. So, I poke fun at my team. I poke fun at myself. I'm not a biased Man United fan, so come on, have some fun, have a laugh with me, and I'll see you there. And I'll tune in, follow any Man United fans on here, follow Ellie as well. He does some great work for Palace, so let's support each other.
Amazing, thank you very much. I'll be sure to give Chris a follow, and I will see you next week for another episode of Eagle Eye View.